Hello everyone, you're welcome back to my channel. This is 401 Styling. So today I want to show us a very simple and easy method to cut a shirt collar. This method we are going to be drafting the collar stand and the collar itself together. Okay, I already have a video on how to draft a collar in another method. So in that video I make a female shirt. I'll just drop a link in the description box for us to see. So if this looks like something you are willing to or you're interested in, kindly watch this video to the end. Thank you. To draft this particular pattern, we'll need our pattern drafting tools, the paper and all of the other thing. Okay, so I already make these shirts, okay, and I'm going to use it to differentiate for us. So the method I use in cutting this collar, I cut the collar stand and the collar itself separately and I join it together. Okay, so but for this we are going to draft the collar stand and collar itself together. So before you could cut out or draft a collar pattern, you will need your round neckline, just like I have here. So after joining the front and back together, you measure whatever you have on the neckline. Okay, if you do not know how to make a female shirt, I have a link in the description box. You can simply check. Okay, so for this neckline now, I have 18 inches for the round neckline. So whatever value you have, you are going to divide it into 2 equal half. Okay, and here I have 9 inches. Okay, 18 inches divided by 9 divided by 2 rather is 9 inches. So you're going to make your paper unfold like this, or you just open it up like this. Then you start with a straight line, okay, just like you see me doing. The paper can be unfold and it can also be on a single file. Just know that when you are drafting your pattern, when you want to transfer to the fabric, you are going to place it on fold. Now the first thing you want to do is to draw a straight line like this. Okay, that will be like a starting point for us. Okay, so the first thing you want to do is to draft a collar stand. It is usually between 1 inch to 1.5 inches, but for this I'm going to use 1.25 inches. Okay, so you mark it on that line. Then after that you measure your neckline measurements divided by 2. Remember I have 9 inches, so I'm going to mark the 9 inches on this my horizontal line. Okay, so at this point now I'm going to measure my collar stand measurements 1.25 upward like this. Then I'm going to connect with a straight line. Okay, so you can go ahead and use 1.5 depending on how big you want your collar to be. So connect it back to this other measurement. Okay, so this is our collar stand. Now we are going to create a shape at the beginning of the collar. Remember it's going to be unfold, so this part is going to serve like the front. So from the front now you are going to come down by 0.5 inches, just like you see me doing, and from the top line you are going to go in by 0.5 inches. Then you connect slightly. You can make use of your free hand, and if you have a curve that you can use, you can simply use it. Okay, just make sure it's not too curved so that by the time you are sewing it, it will be easier for you to turn. Now the next thing we want to do now is to draft the collar. Okay, and we are going to draft it on top. So now we are going to decide on how wide you want the collar to be. Okay, so for this particular one I'm going to use 1.5 inches. Okay, so from this line you'll measure 1.5 inches upward and connect with a straight line. Okay, so from here now you are going to connect back to the front, but you come to this part that you draw the curve and you come in from the center front. You come in by 1 inches and mark. Okay, so from that 1 inch you go up by the 1.5 inches you want to use for the collar height. Okay, then you connect with a straight line vertically. So from this line now you go out by 0.5 inch and you connect vertically to that same spot. Okay, this will help us give our collar the shape we choose to have at the front. So this line now we do not need it. Okay, we are going to maintain this new line. Then you are going to connect back to the center back. Okay, remember it's going to be on fold, so definitely that is going to be our center back. Okay, Now I already cut out the pattern, and make sure you label it. This is going to be on fold, that is, you are going to fold your fabric into two. So now you can decide to cut off this collar and the collar stand and make it separate. Okay, then you had your sewing allowance. So at this M now you can go up by 0.25 or 0.5 inches. Then you connect with a slight curve, because you know when we are cutting our neckline, it is not straight. Okay, when we are plotting our neckline, it's kind of, it has this kind of curve, you know. So on the collar stand you need to create that curve as well, so that it will sit well, it will sit properly on the neckline. Okay, so you're just going to connect it slightly. It's not going to be that deep. Okay, so I'm going to cut this off now, and I will use this to cut out my ST. So for this you are going to be making use of ST to give the fabric strength. Okay, so this kind of ST we want to use a very soft one, also known as BFF. Some people use BFF. I don't know what you call it, but we call it paper steel ST. It's not that strong. Okay, so we are going to use our pattern to cut out this ST without sewing allowance. Okay, so after cutting this out, I'm going to use the pattern to cut out the fabric. Now this is the fabric. You are going to place the pattern on the fabric on the folded edge. Okay, then you are going to secure it with a pin, just like you see me doing. We will need to cut two of these because we are going to use one as the lining. I will use the other one as the main fabric. Okay, secure your pattern with a pin, just like you see me doing, and add your sewing allowance all round. So I'm going to add 0.5 sewing allowance all round, and I'll cut it out. Okay, now I have cut out the pattern, and this is what I have. I added 0.5 all round. So I'm going to cut out two of this. Okay, then we are going to fuse our interface or our paper stay on one of this. Okay, the one that's going to serve as lining, and we decide on which one is going to be on the main fabric. Then we fuse our interface on it. Okay, but make sure you notch the center so that by the time you want to join it, to be easier for you to do so. Okay, now when you want to cut out your ST or paper stay, make sure you cut it without sewing allowance. So just use your pattern to cut it out. Then make sure that when you are folding when you want to cut out the ST, you fold it and place your pattern on it. Remember, we said we are going to be cutting everything and fold. So now you're going to pick one of the fabrics. Okay, then you are going to fuse the interface. Place the interface on the wrong side of the fabric, then use your pressing iron to fuse it together. Okay, now I'm done fusing the interface, and this is what it's going to look like. Okay, so preferably you use a steam iron, it will make it easier, and if you do not have a steam iron, it's fine as well. So now I'm going to sew it round using my sewing allowance, except for this lower part is going to open, because that's where we are going to turn it around. Okay, remember that is where we are going to join to our neckline. So at the top I notch the center, and at the hem also I notch the center. So I'm just going to join this together. Now I'm done joining, and this is what I have. I use my sewing allowance to join it according to the shape I have there. So after that, now you notch that part that goes in and every other part, so that it will be easier for you to turn. And make sure you do not cut it off. You don't cut into your seam line, so that you will not have issue. Okay, then you're going to turn it inside out. Okay, simply cut off the excess or the sewing allowance if you feel they are too much, so that your collar will not look too bulky. And before you do that, you can open press the sewing allowance, and you can even do that after cutting out the excess. After which you have turned it out, this is what it's going to look like. As you can see, the shape is there, it's coming out already. So what you want to do now is to open press the sewing allowance and give this collar a proper pressing. Okay, especially on this upper part. Okay, once you open press inside, it will relax and it will be easier for you. So just make sure you pull out or you push out rather all this sharp point or sharp edge. You are going to use a pressing iron to press it all around. So to fold this collar now, you're going to fold in this collar itself. We are going to fold it and give it a proper press. Okay, after pressing all the collar stand and collar stay, you fold the collar area like this, then you give it a proper press, and by the time you are done, it's going to give you the shirt collar shape that you wanted. Okay, so I'm just going to do that now. Okay, so this is what I have, guys. I already pressed it, and as you can see, it's giving me shape of the collar already. Okay, then I had used my iron to fold in these edges as well, and this is what you are going to have. Okay, so this area is where you are going to join to your shirt neckline. Okay, you are going to join it. So if I should measure this now, okay, I'm going to have my 18 inches. As you can see, this is because we added the 0.5 sewing allowance, and I did not take more or less than the added sewing allowance. Okay, so here is where you're going to fix your button, and our collar is ready. Even before joining to the bodice, it's giving us the shape of the collar already. So I'm just going to use this needle to hold it down so that we will be able to see clearly how it's going to look like. Okay, so guys, that'll be all for this tutorial. I hope we learned one or two things. So guys, if you find this video interesting, kindly like the video and please subscribe to the channel, share for someone else to see, and I'll be glad if you do that for me. So till next time, we'll meet again. Stay blessed and take care of yourself. Bye bye.